Alright, here is your bell work for today. The sub can have the video up and just paused so the students can do the 3 questions. 15 minutes should be plenty of time. When they're done, you can unpause the video and we'll go over them. Alright, so let's go over these questions. Number 1, these are 2 parallel lines cut by a transversal. Therefore, let's move this over here. For number 1, these 2 angles are both outside the parallel lines, so they're exterior. Parallel lines cut by a transversal, you're going to want alternate interior, alternate exterior, corresponding, same side interior angles. These are outside, so they're exterior. They alternate the transversal, one's on the top, one's on the bottom. So they're alternate exterior. Alternate exterior angles are congruent. So they're equal. 3x plus 2 equals 7x minus 10. Subtract 3x from both sides, and you have 2 equals 4x minus 10. Add 10. This is 12 equals 4x. Divide by 4. And x equals 3. For number 2, you have a right triangle. They're asking you to find the third side. So we're going to use the Pythagorean Theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. This is another Pythagorean triple, but this is not a 3, 4, 5. So you have x squared. Key is the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is 13. 12 squared equals 13 squared. X squared doesn't change. 12 times 12 is 144. 13 times 13 is 169. Subtract 144 from both sides. And x squared equals 25. 9 minus 4 is 5. 6 minus 4 is 2. 1 minus 1 is 0. So x is going to equal the square root of 25, which is 5. And number 3, trig that we did last class. If you look at this triangle, here's your 21, here's your angle. Off of this angle, here's my right angle, so that means this is my hypotenuse. Since my hypotenuse is left blank, I know I'm using tangent. Tangent is the only one that does not have hypotenuse. Its tangent is opposite over adjacent. The only side not touching the 21 is this. So my opposite is my x. My adjacent is going to be 16. And when you plug this into the calculator, numbers in the denominator, so it's going to be 16 times tangent 21. So in the calculator, this is 16 times 21 tangent, then equals, this is approximately 6.1. Alright, now the new notes that you should already have. Trying to find a trig, or using trig ratios to find angles. Sine, cosine, tangent that we did last class. We're going to use this if we're missing a side. Okay? That whole worksheet you had last time. 1 through 8, we were just setting it up. Just the ratio of the sides. 9 through 24, you're missing a side. Everywhere there's one side missing. Okay? Now we're going to do it where you're missing an angle. The trig signs don't change. It's still sine, cosine, and tangent. This time, this is going to be my variable. I'm going to have numbers for A, B, and C. This is going to be my variable. So to find theta, you will have to use the trig inverse functions. which is sine inverse. How do you know it's an inverse? Because of the -1 in the exponent. Cosine inverse, tangent inverse. This is still on your calculator. On your calculator, right above sine, cosine, and tangent, you have sine inverse, cosine inverse, tangent inverse. How do you get to those? You got to hit the second button first. So again, this is just a lesson on what buttons to push in the calculator and when. Sine is still opposite over hypotenuse. None of that is changing. Cosine is still adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent is still opposite over adjacent. So if this is my theta, sine of this theta is opposite over hypotenuse, A over C. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. Now the only difference is my fractions, my ratios of sides, are inside the parentheses where my theta used to be. So I took these, the ratio of sides, and I switched them with my theta. If you're looking for a side, you leave it just like this. If you're looking for the angle, you're going to switch them so it looks like this. And you're still just typing this into the calculator. So on your worksheet, let's try some. The question mark is my angle. So you still have, everything's still going. You still have three sides: opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. This is my right angle, so this is my hypotenuse. This is the angle I'm looking for. Change the question mark to an X. Based off of this angle, the one side that's not touching it is the 14, so that's opposite. The 35 is my adjacent. What I have tells me what I need to use. I'm looking for the angle, so I know whichever trig function I choose is going to be the inverse. Opposite and adjacent, this is telling me to use tangent inverse. The fraction stays the same. Opposite 14, adjacent 35. And now you're just typing that in the calculator. You have the fraction first. 14 divided by 35 equals. Then hit second tangent, and there's your answer, 21.8. Alright, let me do this again. If you blink, you miss it. In this triangle, you have this angle that you're looking for. This is still the angle that you focus on to label the triangle. Here's your right angle, so this means this is your hypotenuse. The 35 is touching the angle, so it's adjacent, and the only side not touching is the 14, so it's opposite. So you have the numbers labeling opposite and adjacent. The only trig function that uses opposite and adjacent is tangent. It's tangent to the -1, inverse tangent, because you're looking for the angle. The angle is your variable. The fraction on the inside remains the same. Tangent is opposite, which is 14, over adjacent, which is 35. Once you get that in the calculator, you're going to do your fraction first. Fraction is just a division sign. So 14 divided by 35, hit equals. Then you're going to do the inverse of tangent, so second and tangent, and that is your answer, 21.8. It actually says round to the nearest degree, so your answer would be 22 degrees. Alright, let's do number 2. Here is your angle. Based off of this triangle, 17 is not touching it, so it's opposite. 47 is not the hypotenuse. Here's your hypotenuse, so this is adjacent. So you're using tangent again, tangent inverse, because you're looking for the angle. Opposite 17 over 47 adjacent, and now you type it in the calculator. 17 divided by 47 equals second tangent, so nearest degree would be 20 degrees. Number 3 is another tangent. There's no hypotenuse. No hypotenuse, it's a tangent. Number 4, there is a hypotenuse. This is your angle. So you have opposite and hypotenuse, so it's inverse sine. Nothing changes. 42 over 45, second sine, done. What about down here at the bottom? Your second section. Find each angle measured to the nearest degree, and they give you this. Nothing changes. This is just your fraction. This is 14 over 35, 17 over 47. So in order to do this, it's just sine inverse of that number. So type in a number, 0.9744, second sine, 77 degrees. Let's do number 10. It's cosine, so it's going to be cosine inverse of 0.8829. You're just typing that straight in. 0.8829. Second cosine this time. 28 degrees. Work on this worksheet. Do not write on my worksheet. You can write in your notebook. You can write it on a separate sheet of paper. This is extremely important for you to know how to do. I'll upload this worksheet with the answers so you can check yourself at home in Remind and Skyward. When you're done with this worksheet, if you finish early, you can work on the scavenger hunt if you didn't finish it. You can work on the Trig worksheet if you didn't finish it. You can get a computer and do your Math Nation or Khan Academy. I'm still assigning Khan Academy. It's not as a grade, but it was 100% beneficial for you to do to help you with these assignments. If you need anything, you guys know where to text me.